don't get too confused, this is the other San Goku Shi. Of course, Koei's game based on the novel The Romance of the Three Kingdoms is better known than Namco's. Namco got their game to the Famicom first. But Namco's San Goku Shi only gets 2 games in the series, while at the time of this recording, we're at the 14th main installment in Koei's. And that's assuming we don't count the infinite spin-offs from it. San Goku Shi is a grand strategy game that places you in control of a warlord during the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. A time between the 2nd and 3rd centuries when the Han Dynasty collapsed and it felt like anybody could become emperor of all of China. That period became the basis for historical fiction San Goku Shi, better known in the West as Romance of the Three Kingdoms. It's one of the cornerstones of Asian literature, and since it's a public domain book, it's why both Namco and Koei could make their own games with that title. Koei's game started out on computers, of course. By the time they started publishing games on the Famicom, they were well established as the big name for Japanese strategy games. Koei's San Goku Shi offers 5 scenarios that let players indulge in the conquest of China. The victory conditions for each, however, aren't control everything. That's only for the final one, in which there are only 3 kingdoms. The first thing you're going to notice when playing San Goku Shi is that the interface is terrible. It's better than it was in Nobunaga no Yabo, Koei's first strategy game to use this engine on the Famicom, but the interface is still pretty bad here. Let's say you want to pick an option for something. You might have to hit left or right to select 1 or 2, or you might have to hit up and down to pick a number, or you could select something with a cursor and hit A. Consistency may be the hobgoblin of little minds, but I think it's kind of important for interfaces. Every turn in San Goku Shi represents a month, and turns take a long time to run. Like 5 to 10 minutes if there isn't a battle. For every province you control, you'll need to select an option. And in true Koei fashion, there's 13 different things that you can do. You can move your soldiers around, whether it's between your own provinces or to an enemy one to start an attack. Hand out gold or food to improve loyalty. Build up your province. Train your soldiers, or conduct diplomacy. You can also pass your turn, but you should never do that since training soldiers is free. Another option is to inspect other territories and generals. But if you choose to do that, that's the only thing you can do from that province for that turn. When you choose to go to war with someone, you can only attack from one province at a time, and it goes to this tactical map. Here you lay out your forces and choose where you're going to put your supplies. If your supplies are raided, then you lose the battle instantly. Now I know Famidaily isn't the best format for these kinds of grand strategy games. I think I got 3 turns into Scenario 5, and I had to do some stupid stuff just to give some variety to the video. But I genuinely feel that the Famicom is the wrong platform for this kind of thing. And this early version of Koei's strategy game engine has just too many rough edges. We can debate the merits of different features or how they modified the gameplay over the years when it comes time to decide which Romance of the Three Kingdoms game is worth people's time. But this particular version, I feel that the Famicom's limitations just get in the way too much. Koei had to start someplace, so it's not a bad thing that they did the Famicom game this way, but there's so many other ways to play Romance of the Three Kingdoms that I feel like you should pick any one of those before this.